I'm a
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Mike Lever King, Mike L. This is King's Court. I gotta lean the T better. The court. It's King's Court, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It's April 2nd. Man, it's 04022024. Wow. That's a lot of 2s and 4s. Joining me, as always, is Block Island Rick. What's up, Rick?
What up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I noticed that it's 422024. That's something that's I don't know. That's got to mean something though, right there, Rick. It goes 4 on the inside, 2, then 2, and then a 0. Oh shit! I'm gonna blow my own mind right here. All right. Joining us for the show will be Sin Schrader Hill, author.
Hey.
How are you, Sin?
I'm good. We are right in the middle of tornado warnings. So if I get kicked off,
yeah, so all right.
Good work.
Back on to Sarah Para.
Normal.
What's up, Sarah?
I'm hoping Sin doesn't end up in Oz during the show.
Yeah, so
well, I would be closer to Shaw, so
Shaw in Oz?
It's close.
Is that like a Sean Na joke? Or did I just think of that? I mean, did you see Shaw's in?
You just thought of that.
Sean and Oz?
So listen to me. Speaking of that, I feel like the last couple of days I'm watching all these like reports on how there's going to be severe weather in this area, right? And the guys keep drawing the blob map on the thing, and they're predicting it's going to. It was basically the perfect makeup, I guess, of wind streams for that type of weather to break out. But then there's like a couple of things that are peculiar about this year. There's that, right? The way that they predicted this they knew it was going to be a big one. The fact that spring, this is the earliest spring since 1890. I wrote it down, 1896. So this is the earliest spring where spring has started in 128 years. There's a lot of these things that are all happening at the same time, right? Where, I mean, weather people are good at predicting stuff, right? But are they that good? Like, when do they get that good where they all just go, oh, it's like a week in advance, and here's what's going to happen. I mean, because honestly, my local weatherman throughout my whole life has been the most completely wrong person I've ever listened to in my life. Like, they're always wrong. That's, I think, that might be a Rhode Island thing. Like, I'm not quite sure. Rick, what do you think on that? Because Rhode Island weathermen seem like, man, they've never been right.
The only job you can make $100,000 at and be wrong half the time.
That's exactly it.
But I know they're talking about canceling the boats out here for the next 2 days, so we're gonna have a long, hard one.
Hey, long.
That's what she said. Excuse me.
Well, I would look forward to that.
Right? Cancel them boats.
Sin.
So
I expect that from up there.
Woo!
Now, I want to. I got to put this. I believe this to be a comedian, right? And I've seen this, and it's something about when someone shows their aggravation that I feel good about myself. Like when someone else is really aggravated. So just what's this?
David Watson's been monitoring
you hear
traffic,
this?
but first we go to Ryan Marshall, who's out monitoring the snowfall. Ryan, what's it look like out there?
Nope, there's no. Is there
Yeah,
no volume?
That's fine.
David Watson's monitoring
I
traffic,
can't
but
hear it.
first we go to Ryan Marshall, who's out monitoring the snowfall.
Can you hear
Ryan,
it?
what's it look like out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, it looks like snow, just like I predicted in my forecast
I'll let you watch
from
this. I
the
can't hear it.
studio. I'm not sure why I'm out here literally looking around. It looks like snow. You could just take a video of it snowing and show that. Why do I have to be here to describe snowfall? It's pretty self-explanatory.
Seems like the cold has gotten you in an icy mood yourself, Ryan.
Okay, you know what, Shannon? I am in an icy mood. Okay? By the way, all right, I was just standing out here for 20 minutes waiting for you guys to throw to me, and I was just doing some thinking. I spent $120,000 on a degree and 4 years in college to come out here and look around and describe what I see. I literally learned that in kindergarten. I Spy. It makes zero sense. Also, you know what else I was thinking while we're at it? When it's like a nice day or sunny, you never send me out to the lake or to the pool for a live shot. But when there's a hurricane or snowing or a blizzard or a flood, send me out there. I'll cover it perfect.
I guess you have a point there, Ryan. We're looking at these reports, and the forecast doesn't look good. People are worried. Have you spoken to any locals?
Look around. Does there look like there's any locals out here? Everything is closed. Everyone is inside. The only reason I'm outside is to tell people not to come outside. What am I doing with my life?
Well, you sure are brave, Ryan. Any word on what we can expect overnight?
Yeah, more of this. Actually, 12 to 18 inches more of this. But don't worry, guys. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I got this sleeveless vest that you guys make me wear. My literal fingers are about to freeze off. I got frostbite, but it's fine because we got the logo in the shot. Great.
All right, so that's a comedian. That's actually a green screen. That's
I figured.
right.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Like he just basically does people breaking down at their jobs, like doing different jobs, and they just lose their shit. Like, and oh God, right. I feel like everyone I know has at least, even the people that I consider to be overly good, they have to have at least one breakdown of oh shit, and you just lose your shit. Like if you've never lost your shit, like you've never gone, like you've never had that one moment and you're past the age of 30, I don't trust you, because you gotta blow up once. You gotta blow up once. What do you, Sin? What do you think? Blowing up?
Once a week.
Oh, see, that's on the reg. We call that on the reg. Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Sarah,
I've at work. I've done it several times. Yeah.
what's your best?
What was my best was
mic.
actually just smashing the keyboard, just standing up and breaking the keyboard on the desk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Just smash it right in half.
wow.
I
I
was done.
I had one where I left with garbage bags of stuff, like fucking Santa Claus. I walked past everyone, and they're like, "What are you in the bags?" My stuff. You have no idea. Like it was all my stuff, but it was my stuff. We can't get into that for legalities. My point is, I just walked out like Santa Claus with all my stuff in a big sack, like a jerk. Like I didn't even say anything to anybody.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You ever have a mutual? Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna. And they're like, and they don't say a word about it. Does that ever happen to any of you guys? A mutual part, like just. It's a breakup of working when you're working with somebody where it's almost like and they know. It's just like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. We're not agreeing. Like this isn't gonna. Have you ever, Rick? You've had those, right?
Sure. I don't tend to blow up though. I tend to get real quiet.
Yeah, you do.
Shove it down inside. Let it percolate.
Healthy.
Yeah, that's real healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely not somebody who you take a second. Like you take it in. You take things in before you do things. Like me, Sin on occasion. That's the thing with Sin. I don't know. She is the wild card of like, because I could tell you that Rick's gonna be like, he's gonna wait a second, try to figure it out. Then he's gonna, me and Sarah will both just react. And Sin, I don't know with you. You could be like me. You could be like Sarah. You could be like Rick. You're the wild card. I don't know what you like. Certain things, and you're off. And I'm, usually aimed at me. I'm just saying, when it comes to things like that.
But I love you. But I do love you.
But that's a
Wait, I'm so confused. Like, I don't think anyone has actually ever seen Rick mad. I don't believe that.
Oh, people have. Yeah, there are a couple, not very many, but there's a couple.
Yeah.
Oh,
mad or mad sexy.
adorbs.
Let me go through some stuff I want to see if you guys have been paying attention to. Within the last, give me 30 days on this. They found a 7-foot long head of a Plilosaur. Anyways, the head is 7 feet long. The body would be 40 feet long. That's the size of a school bus. So and it's and they found that with the teeth intact, like the head of it is intact. I don't remember where. That's the thing with me. But I wrote them down because I want to make sure, and I wrote on the facts of it. But that is something that's going on. Second thing is, there's fake influencers. There's a guy who created an AI female who's taking jobs away from YouTube influencers. Does any of that make sense? What I just said, like, see, my dog doesn't like it. What I just said was a little weird, right? But it's happening.
Oh, it's happening. It's gonna more and more. It's gonna happen.
I heard it was OnlyFans though.
No. So no. Now there's her hair's purple. That's the color the guy uses. His hair is blonde. The guy that makes the girl, and she's got some modeling type. He's landed some sort of modeling contracts, or not contracts, or deals that real women are complaining about because they had them before. And then I started to think about like so they're building. When I started to look into this stuff that they're building, or how many, first of all, you know how many departments we have as far as intelligence agencies in the U.S.?
No.
What do you mean by departments?
Departments like the NRO, things like that.
I know there's a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's 17.
That's a lot.
That's ridiculous. That's, by the way, that's like 15 too many. Maybe let's say 8. Let's say 14 too many. Should be around 3. I'm thinking 3. 3 people, tribunal, keep yourself in check. That's, you don't need, once you start getting to like, what was it again? 17. So let me start with that. Sarah, what are your thoughts on the fact that AI is about to take away a group of jobs we actually didn't even think were unreachable, like hosting a podcast, being an actor, being an actress, just movies in general? What happens if they just decide to make movies strictly in AI?
Oh, they will.
Yeah, they will.
So, I mean, so the problem is not necessarily, like, in my opinion, like the actual jobs being taken away, because there are plenty of jobs, like, you know, that people can train themselves and go get besides just like being pretty. But the problem is like that when everything we see is AI, I'm afraid like it's going to affect people's relationships and how they see themselves, because everything is now this perfect version, not just in looks, but they talk too. So that these women not only look perfect, but they say the perfect thing all the time.
That's awesome.
And
Listen to
don't
me.
complain,
They
right?
don't
Chat-
complain. They don't have needs.
Chat GPT or whatever you want to call it is the devil, because this guy was using it and it mimics his voice and says different words. And he actually said, say this, but add in a lot of uhs and ahs and like stutter and pause like you're like this. And it did it in his voice in that style perfectly, like emotionally, like on with the lines. And I'm like, we're screwed.
Did
Oh
you guys?
my God.
Did you hear about the two computers with AIs that they set up, and they having them start talking to each other?
Yeah.
And then within 4 hours, they had made up their own language.
Yep.
And they had to shut it off because it was going too far, too fast.
Wow.
So they're so past that, right?
Mm.
Like here we are at a point where there's a company with the last name Martin in it that they make they work on secret project flight things, but they don't advertise that they do that. They advertise that they work in concrete, which is even scarier, which is an even scarier thing. Let me tell you something. If you're dealing with somebody and you get an issue and you want to look in their business and say, well, what are you doing over there? And they work in concrete.
Yeah.
It might be just the Italian in me, but I know what happens with concrete if you don't, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. So finding that out, right? It becomes more like I'm more worried not in extraterrestrials. I'm really not. I'm not as worried about Bigfoot. I'm more worried about what's going on with the world and the people, and especially just in our country, the way that we've all been manipulated over like 6 years. I feel like it's been like a weird manipulation, just socially, just on a social level. To not say there's been a destruction of the social level of life. I mean, like, it was very sociable when I was a kid. Now I know that I say that, but I wonder if my parents, how much more sociable could it have been? Like from what my experience was. What were they like? I mean, seriously, what were they all doing? Punching the shit out of each other? I don't get it. Like, so I just think like that's more of where I'm at, and I'm more worried about people in power, their ability to flex their power, and you start to look around and you think, oh shit, we could be working on all these ships. We could already be doing this. Like, man, we were photoshopping Lincoln. There's a picture of Lincoln that's photoshopped. Like, they knew how to fix photos and make fake photos back then. Like the black and white guy standing in the dark room, whatever you want to call it. What he would do is he'd take a negative and splice it and put it on top of another negative, and then run it with the pan or whatever. They would cut it, and they actually had, because was it Putin that like he would have you erased from photos? Like he killed a guy and he had him erased from a photo. The photo just showed him with the tree. and everyone's like, how did Putin? Not Putin. It's not Putin. Putin's current, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, this is way back. This is
Stalin.
Yeah. Much worse guy. A real. I'm gonna go on the limb and say a real jerk.
Yeah, Rick and I are both like,
We'll see.
Stalin was a real
to be
jerk.
determined. We got time still.
I know, but as it stands,
yes.
Stalin will still always be a real jerk. Just
I can agree with that.
excessive evil of too much. Like, he could have just eased back. So look, what if so there's this guy, and I don't know his name, but he's one of those guys that, like, you know how they pay lectures and when he talks about like the future, it's he's usually dead on, he knows. He's this German fellow, and I don't know his exact name, but he was stuttering through this speech of how what he's trying to say, and like it's almost like I wish I was there in the video with them because I would be like, dude, let me just fix this for you because this is what you're trying to say. He was shut up. He was what he was basically saying is that he believes that in the next next 10 to 20 years that we'll embrace our combination of the physical, biological, and digital world. And it's just a weird thing to say. And I'm going physical, then biological. Okay, I'm on board. Digital, just cyborgs.
Plug them in, of course.
Like in other words, is he trying to say, get ready for the fact that we're going to be building you arms and building you girlfriends and husbands and wives, so reproduction just stops? Like, what the heck? Like, what kind of like nightmare scenario is this going to go down? Like, that's just choose your own adventure of nightmare scenarios.
Or is it Utopia? Or is it what's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he goes back when he's on Mars?
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sit there, you plug in, you can have whatever reality you want. You got a food, a tube for your food, a tube for your poop, and you live your best life.
But Rick, then there's Ready Player One, where they're stuck in there, but they're all so poor. You know what I mean? Like in shacks on top of each other, and then there's still the government that can control what's going on inside the simulation, and just
Well, they say if there's ever a chance for a simulation, that it's about 99% sure that we're already living in one.
And I talked about this on the news, and I think I got.
I don't believe. Listen, first off, when you said, I thought you yelled out Puerto Rico. But you actually said Total Recall over me saying it, and your accent I'm like,
Rick's accent?
No, yours. Sarah.
No, I don't have an accent.
So I'm thinking, why would she yell out Puerto Rico? Like, what?
I miss Puerto Rico.
Why is she repping? Why? What caused that? I didn't say anything about that. What's up, JK?
Puerto Rico gets the crap under the stick when there's weather.
I spent 2 months in Rincon two winters ago. I'll go back in a second.
To where?
I spent a lot of time in San Juan.
Rincon, Puerto Rico.
Wait, is that in the mountains?
Would you guys get off Puerto Rico? Spin, did you tell them already?
Puerto Rico's beautiful.
I
It
want
is
to
beautiful.
go. I do want to go.
A little surf town on the corner of the island.
There were lots of stray dogs where I just like a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what?
And chicken
All
fight.
day long, it's weird you say this because all day long, here's what was happening with me. I'm going, I wonder, no, it can't be. And I was like, I did stuff, my son had it then, and I'm going all day long. I'm going, you think there is? And it's in my head. I was one of those things. I'm thinking
That there's stray dogs in Puerto
and
Rico.
maybe stray dogs in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if there is. And now I finally know. I can't believe that you broke that. Thank you for breaking that.
No problem.
There are stray dogs in Puerto Rico.
Right, I'm good, guys. Have a good night. My job's done here.
Actually, Mike, there's a dogs without paws problem there as well.
Yeah, I believe that. Now, see that I'm buying into 100%. Okay. All right. So, the city of London. Is it like Vatican City?
No.
Is it closer to Washington D.C.?
No,
Is it its own?
No.
It isn't. It has its own police, though.
I mean, like any city in the United States has its own police. Yeah, it has its own police. Right.
It's the richest square block in the world.
I don't know. Is it? I'm getting
Buckingham Palace is the highest residence in the world.
Well, it's all the banks. All the major banks are right. All the banks are right in that block area. Like it's everybody that owns all the money is right.
It's not Trafalgar Square. It's where Mary Poppins was, where the feed the birds puppets.
Yeah, but it's got its own like security guard law enforcement that works the area because
but-
of, like I think every like villain from a big time movie would want to rob that area.
Well, it's like Wall
Jason
Street.
Statham is going to rob it.
No, he wouldn't rob it unless he was trying to save somebody, unless somebody's life depended on it and he had to go rob that. He's a national treasure. He's one of my favorites. He actually is. So
I wouldn't kick him out of bed.
no, who would? He's a handsome fellow. Controlling the narrative is basically, I think, what the biggest problem is right now. Period. It is the control of the narrative, the fight for the control of the narrative. It's literally all when it comes to news. It's all in the narrative. It's all how you're saying it. It's all what you intend to say. You can take any story and make it sound a different way. So now that they've got us, we don't trust media. We don't go out of the house to talk to each other. We don't all meet at church because no one goes there anymore. It's like a roller rink on a Wednesday night. Like, I don't know. Anybody else as pessimistic as I have been over these? Come on, AI is already taking over jobs.
Yeah.
They already want us to do less and work from home. It's less, and if you think they're making us, this is far from We Are the World, and this is far from Hands Across America. If you're that old.
Yeah, but Mike, the idea isn't that AI and computers replace the jobs and then people starve to death. I think that the idea is supposed to be that they don't have to work until they die and they have some sort of quality of life. So there should still be a functioning system. And because AI won't require to be paid, we should have a social system that takes care of everybody. I think that's like the goal.
What?
Or maybe I'm just like
you you expect there to be a social system where everybody
it's gonna be it'd be like where the government takes care of its citizens, biological citizens.
You think the government is going to take care of us?
I think what she's trying to say is AI is going to solve these problems that we have, where they could figure out how to make everything copacetic.
And things would be less expensive because if AI is doing the labor and then you don't have to pay a workforce. So like sociologists have thought this out. I don't know. I'm moving to Norway.
Psychology, right?
Sociology.
Psychology.
Okay.
Where you have somebody come in, you talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Right. And they discuss their issues, their past issues. They usually tell them to work on an exercise, or they walk them through this, or whatever it is they do, right?
Yeah.
AI is being programmed to do such. AI is going to do jobs like that, where they already have it like one master beehive type brain that all the info comes, and they just what you say is what you get as a response. Because quite honestly, some of us that have ever seen a psychiatrist, they're doing the same thing. They seem dead to the world anyways. You come in and they're like, hey, it's like, hey, good to see you too. But Sarah, what do you think about that? Jobs like that could be in jeopardy, like radio hosts, TV, football.
Very different things.
Could be the game announcer. I'm doing this. I shouldn't be. The game announcer. No, long gone, you could be Rick. Sports announcers. Why do they need them?
Have you heard any of the AI jokes done by them in styles of certain comedians?
No.
They have them out there. Check it out.
Yeah, see what I mean? They can take a person's like what they've said in the past,
Mm-hmm.
do their style
and then their voice and adapt it to what he would say.
Yeah,
the predictability, and it stinks because it's replicating. It's going to start replicating art and replicating.
You asked a question and then you didn't But like when you were talking about now, Sin, you work like sort of your work in the medical community. Don't we think though for certain jobs like where someone's health or mental health is on the line and a totally impartial, unbiased thing programmed with all the information is at least good to have there? Because I've had a lot of things. I've been screwed over a lot of times by doctors.
Medical could all be
Like
digital AI.
pushing
It
their
all
own
could be.
agendas.
But no, medical could be all AI.
Well, that's
I
its job, though.
Don't know that that's horrible. Except for it takes out the human, whereas a human might want to fight for someone's life. AI might say, "Oh, well, this is not worth the resources." Because
it leaves out compassion. It leaves out like the soul of the whole relationship of a doctor to do his best by what we have lost faith in every profession. I can't think of one profession that we haven't gone, because
who here has not been screwed over by the medical community? I've almost died. You've been screwed over, Mike.
Agreed. But what I'm saying is, when I was young, we all believed in doctors.
Yeah, that's the problem. We believe them, and they're not perfect. They're human.
All right, but what professions do we still believe in?
Firefighters.
All right.
I was married to one of those. They're insane.
Yeah.
That's their private life. We're talking professional life.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. We need those. I mean, you could probably build a robot to fight fires that is fire retardant.
Well, all you got to do is figure out a way to build a better hose type thing contraption where you have less firefighters there. Maybe one or two guys that go, "Let's go, child!" Click, click, and it's just this flood of water comes out, and it's not water, it's sand. Bang, it's out.
I'd be afraid of the police being robots, depending on how they're programmed. That'd be terrifying.
That's right there, right? I've got a theory on that being good and bad.
Yeah.
All right. Here's why it's bad. If the police are robots, that's just scary. That's like every horror movie you can think of, right? But if they're programmed to be fair, that's a better deal, I think, than we're getting mostly, right? Because I mean, I've met great cops. I've met fair cops. Who
determines what's fair?
Well, by the law. What I'm trying to say is this is a thing that has to go exactly by the law. It's programmed to go by the law. And if they could actually do that, that's a robot. You can do that. He cuts down on a lot of stuff that goes crazy.
No, it'll follow the money trail.
See, that's the thing. You guys don't even trust the robots.
Nope.
Well, then if it's going by the law, then it's controlled by whoever makes the law, which is the people of power and money.
Yep.
So there'll still be oppression and
Plus, we want to give a bunch of guns to robots.
Well, like
at no point should you be handing out guns to robots.
Not every country has such a gun. In England, the police don't have guns.
No, I know, but I'm pretty sure in England they would not pass out guns to robots.
No,
probably not.
I think wherever you go, you don't pass out guns to robots. If you see a bunch of robots, I'm just saying, there's not
just don't hand them a gun.
Just blame this on me. King Mike is saying, if you see a bunch of robots, don't hand out guns.
I don't know. I'm not going to comment on the gun issue.
But if you were a cop, right? You pull over a car, it looks shady. You send your robot up first to check it out, scan it, make sure there's no guns, and then you go up and say, "Hey,
Terminator."
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even trust the dogs they bring.
Oh God, no.
The dog that dog test, right? Because I've watched how many things on YouTube. I just keep watching this stuff, right? And whenever they're always like suspect of drugs, and they go call the dog, they're waiting for the dog to get excited.
Yeah,
I've hold up in a court of law.
I've seen hundreds of those videos, and there's only been one time that I've seen the dog not do the sign.
Yeah, it's always gonna get. They just get out of the car. Hey, Rick, Bobby, Steve, what have you guys been doing? I've been in the car. He's not gonna get excited. He's a professional. That dog knows his job. He's a pro. You know what I mean?
All I've learned here is that sin we should not drive with Rick and Mike because they seem to know a little bit too much about this. This has never happened to me, nor
Dude, every time they show it on any you name the police show, whatever it is, people get arrested. Those dogs always get excited.
I'm just saying you two are suspicious looking, is what I'm trying to say.
For the people at home, never say anything. Okay, never say.
Don't say a word.
Never. The only thing you just say is, "I want my lawyer."
Listen to me. Someone comes tomorrow and they're like, I don't know, Mike, you robbed a bank in Las Vegas, Nevada last night, and this is like tomorrow morning, right? And I know for a fact that there's no way that that's possible. At this point in my life of watching those videos, Rick, I would say, I want to speak to my lawyer.
Yep.
I don't even care how ridiculous the claim is from now on. Yep. I'm just going to go because I've watched so many stupid people sit there and tell the police everything. And it's weird too. It's like they can't make it past like an hour. Like the dummies. No offense. I speak for the dumb, but there's dummies. And they can't make it past an hour before they just stop breaking.
Well,
like,
even innocent people. You watch innocent people get
confessed to murder.
Stupid stuff that get them in trouble.
But my point is, why are you sitting there? Just can I put me back in the cell? Like, just go back to the cell. Like, just go back to my lawyer, please, because everything you say is a set. They're setting you up. It's like it's another choose your own adventure of what you say they're going to lead you. So I don't know. Maybe that's a public service announcement. If you're ever arrested,
say nothing.
Just shut up.
If you're even not arrested and you're questioned,
just
say nothing.
Shut up.
In fact, if you see a cop, pretend you're mute.
Yeah, when you walk by him, just remove the volume. Like, you know what? But I have friends that are police.
I do too.
That's the thing. Like
me
no,
too.
but my point.
I love the cops where I live.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're gonna get. Like you just don't know if it's gonna be one of the good ones till it's too late.
I think it's like 75 to 80% good at least. I think we give it a hard knock, but I mean, like that's still enough to stir a pot. And no one likes to make fun of good cops because it's not really funny. You know what I mean?
You haven't spent enough time in Florida, my friends.
No, but Florida is the ending of so many stories. Like we could be talking.
I thought
about,
you were going to say the ending of the world, and I was like, yeah.
No, we could be talking about anything. That's coming up in a couple of days, but anything, and it always ends up, it happened out of Florida. Like any bizarre story I've ever heard in my life. Like Florida is like a Bermuda Triangle of like of social people and how they all ended up in one state where they're so ridiculously. Some live here and some. It's just.
Have you ever Googled your birthday and then put Florida man after it?
Yeah, because they've always got that. Someone's always
Yeah, you know what I mean? You put your birthday and they're like, Florida man found having sex with an alligator, high on.
There's always an alligator.
What?
There's always an alligator involved. There's always a freaking alligator.
Yeah. So, but you realize that Plethosaurus is like a descendant of the alligator.
That's terrifying.
So that's a bus-size alligator.
No, thank you.
The head of that alligator, Plethosaurus, what it was called, was 7 feet. A head of 7 feet is ridiculous. Like
it's
his
bigger than Coley's head.
1.5 feet, 2 feet, and it's too much. It's like a good foot. It's about a foot. 7 foot head? No way. That's ridiculously big.
With a tiny little brain.
What?
With a tiny little brain.
Oh yeah, is that better or good though, Sin?
To have a smaller brain?
Yeah, I don't mean that to you. That was a bad because no, here's my thought theory. They only have one train of thought, whereas we kind of have layers of thought.
Yeah, I got 5 trains of thought, and they've all got different conductors screaming and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I don't think we do. I really don't think people do. I think we pretend we're all like deep and like, but really it's just all about sex and food.
I was speaking more.
Sorry.
That's a wrap.
I was speaking more in the terms of reptilian brain.
That's what our reptilian brain does. It just wants sex and food.
I don't know right now if you're making a statement
I am.
or if that was a comment on
Or
what
if
I
you
just said.
If you're just hungry and horny.
Yeah.
What is it with you, Sarah?
That too.
Colby's letting you know that he is available. He came over and went,
Someone say sex and food?
So true story, you guys. Earlier tonight, a few weeks ago, I had taken pity on Mike and I had sent coffee to his house. And today I ordered dinner off Uber Eats. Do you know where my dinner went?
Mike's house.
What?
Awesome.
I'm mailing it back.
To change the address.
Would you get down? I'm mailing it back.
It's a tuna sub. I don't want it mailed.
That's why I'm mailing it back.
Mail that to me.
That's why I'm going to mail it back. I'm just going to put it in the box. You'll have it in like about 6 to 7 days. I'd make sure it was a long day trip.
So yes, Rick, I'm hungry because my dinner went to Mike's house.
Well, you guys live in America. You can still get food at this point. Right? So,
I can.
In the slight chance that he decides to bark, I'm going to have to mute myself, and you guys are going to have to entertain yourselves.
Oh no, this is your show. You brought us all on.
I'm just letting you know if he's sitting right. I'll just keep talking.
Mike.
Yep.
Before we get off the topic of AI, can I say a couple positive things about AI?
Allen Iverson.
Alvin Iverson, best cross dribble, best first step in basketball.
Jordan.
AI is going to solve some things for us. They are working on real medical things, real energy sources, that kind of stuff where we are not smart enough and they will be smarter than us at some point. That's all I want to say. It's not all poo-poo.
Yeah, see, I have a horribly negative view on things sometimes because I say to myself, maybe we're not supposed to cure stuff. Like maybe the natural way was we weren't supposed to cure stuff. Like I don't know why we think that it was our job to cure stuff and basically to make life longer and better. Like in other words, like animals don't do it. It's just every other they don't. It's just that when they go. It's more. I don't know.
Yeah, but we've also poisoned ourselves too. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just curing what we've poisoned.
It'll be a very long time before the general public can afford any of that. When these treatments, these cures and stuff come out, it'll be the wealthy that will.
It'll be withered down by then. Is what I guess I'm trying to say. It'll be dwindled down, population wise. You start socially, and then you move to something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the rich people got penicillin first, but I'm still glad it's here.
That's true.
Obviously, I don't mean medicine at all. I'm saying, at what point do we reach like, we get this new thing. You live to be 90. Oh, 90 is the new 40. Hell, I don't. That's not intriguing to me. It's not at all. Living in my 90s?
Well,
really?
If it's the new 40, why not?
Right?
Because they just say that. They just say that to make you want to be hip and be 90, which doesn't sound right.
If I could feel like I was in my 30s again, okay, so that was 30 years ago. But if I could feel like I was in my 30s again, that would be the best. The best.
You say feel, and I wonder what you mean by that, because I would say in my 30s, I was I was an idiot. Like,
when did
guys are always idiots, though.
Yeah, when did that change?
Well, no,
we love you, but
it's ever evolving.
Like one of your pet things that we put up with.
Yeah, no, it's an ever evolving thing where every 4 or 5 years, like I will look back at myself and go, well, there's like one or two things that I'm always like, but to me, that's a good thing because I'm at least trying to change certain stuff. You know what I mean? As opposed to just plodding through. Now the problem I have with the whole thing. Let's go back to the AI thing. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Oh, I miss Puerto Rico.
So, all right. If you want to move digital to biological to physical, that's going to be literally let's say a robotic arm, right? Where you can feel. Here's what's weird to me. Once they can generate some way to attach the nerves where you can feel through the prosthetic robotic cyborg of the future hand, what's the difference? And that's where the downfall begins, right? Because what's the difference? I can feel with it.
Right.
How's it not my hand? And then would you guys ever get a robotic replacement?
Yeah.
You would?
Well, yeah, because what is well, I mean,
robotic.
If it's gonna improve quality of life, then why not?
Yeah, it beats having one leg and just being leaned against the wall for a while.
Did Matthew McConaughey's do better after he got his in Texas Chainsaw?
Don't do that.
The one leg.
I got yelled at the other night again.
No, actually, I was thinking, you guys don't know this, but I actually dated a guy with one leg very shortly.
Oh. So let me go back to this. My issue with this is this.
He was really easy to tip over.
Sid's gone. Sid's gone.
That was so bad. That was so fucking bad.
Oh. All right. So
I apologize, Ted. I apologize for that.
So my fear of it is
he was a jerk.
It's going to be too easy to replace. It's going to be it's too easy. It makes too much sense to not get. I'm going to go for like a shoulder upgrade. But no, I like the Frankenstein shoulders. I want to go out to here and be just square. I want to look like a lurch. Like I want those shoulders. I don't know why. Maybe I do.
Well, you see what they're doing with butts?
No.
You haven't seen those gigantic butts they're putting on ladies here and there?
Stupidness.
Those are the implants. Like you can get butt implants now.
That are giant.
They're giant.
Absolutely monster, like little VW bugs on the back of some of these ladies.
But
Right.
Exactly.
I saw a show where a guy was actually designing his own implants. Like, and there were like implants for every single, like he had them going in.
There's a guy from Saudi Arabia that's a rich
everywhere.
I don't know how he's connected, whatever.
Have you guys seen what they're doing with butts?
He got a full, but his whole body is implants from his shoulders to his arms to his chest to his everything. And like he's popular there, and he puts on exhibition fights, but he always fights somebody who takes a dive because he can't even throw a punch. And I'm not joking. You can look this guy up. He's really rich, and he finally fought somebody of something and got destroyed because
it's not functional.
It's not real muscle.
Yeah.
There's not. It looked maybe, and it doesn't even to me. It just doesn't even look good. So if it looks good to his warped way of looking in the mirror, I guess it's okay. To me, it's kind of self-mutilation, but whatever. If you want to get your whole body in, so again, a whole body tattoo, you know what I mean? Like a whole of just, I guess, yourself, which would be weird.
The what was that? God, wrinkle now. Ray Bradbury, the book of the guy covered in tattoos that come to life. What's the name of that book?
I don't know.
Why are you naming off books?
It made me think of that.
Then let me ask you: so when does that become too easy to lean on AI for everything? For the government, for decisions, for jobs, for everything that we've kind of mentioned in a roundabout sort of way. Where is there going to be a line to say, all right, guys, it's starting to get a little, because it's already seems like it's gotten too far, no?
Yeah, it does, but they're going to keep shoving it into the system until everybody just goes, oh, okay, this is normal.
So they're just browbeating us down. Just You stink, you stink, you stink, you stink, you stink. We see a shine of light, we're all gonna be happy. Basically. Sorry, did that make any sense to you?
I was busy looking up a book.
What was the name of the book?
It's called The Illustrated Man. It's a good book. It's part of the Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. It's about a carnival worker whose tattoos move and come to life and tell stories.
I know a Bradbury, but it was an Angela Bradbury?
No.
She was a detective.
That's
on
Murder,
TV?
She Wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real Bradbury.
Well, Ray
That
Bradbury
Bradbury is
also
much better than the one
wrote
you're talking about.
Fahrenheit 451.
It
And
doesn't matter. She solved, I don't know how many different things, Angela Lansbury.
I did love me some Murder, She Wrote, though.
It was a good show. A most underrated show of all time would probably
Matlock.
have to be. What's that?
Matlock.
Perry Mason.
Well, Matlock. Ben Matlock is one hell of a guy. I would go with is it Treasure Island with Ricardo Montalban.
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island. There it is. Fantasy Island.
The plane.
Ricardo Montalban. He was one of my favorite actors of all time. He was another guy like that. He was on that Burt Reynolds level of like him, Burt Reynolds, Magnum PI. Those are all like even Ben Matlock. I'll throw him in there as the old timer of that group. They're just those guys. Does anybody know what blue sky technology is?
Tell me.
I'm not going to. I'm going to make you look that up because blue sky technology or yeah, that's what I would Google. And when you find out like who DARPA is and how long ago they were working on certain projects, like their track record is like 20. They're always 20 to 30 years ahead of what everybody thinks they can do. Like one of the things that I saw that's going to be really soon, they're not going to be fighting for resolution on screens anymore. They're all going to be projected screens that you can move. So your TV is going to shoot out a digital screen that projects and you can move which way you want it to face. And the higher resolution means the less it loses as you move it. That's how good the hologram of it's going to be. Like, that's where they're already at with holograms. Like, that's the next level of TVs. You're going to hit it. It's going to project where you want it to project, and you're going to move it and adjust it. It's going to be like, just like they do with that was mind-blowing to me. I'm like, oh, come on. Like how much more comfortable are you going to make the TV?
I want that on the computer. So when I'm writing a book, I can move this paragraph over here and do this up here.
Oh, you want the Avengers. You want the Avengers computer.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's like Star Trek deck type of level stuff. I
really want that.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. You
want to hear an interesting fact?
I do.
Yes, Rick.
They say that the amount of technology, the advancement between 1900 and the year 2000. So you figured 1900 we're just getting cars.
Right.
Year 2000 we're full in computers.
Mm-hmm.
From 2000 to 2100, that's going to be 100 times that X factor.
I don't doubt that.
Xavier McDaniels.
What's that?
Xavier McDaniels.
The X factor.
Yeah. That was two sports references we got in there, Rick.
I know.
I don't think they even realized they happened, but that's two.
I mean, we did. See, here's the thing. So if they could just create AI that understands women, because you guys can't tell the difference between when
impossible.
We just don't care.
I've learned. Thanks, Chris. I've learned that whenever Sarah starts off a sentence with "here's the thing," it's better to just bail on that because you don't want to know the thing. Because she's like, "Here's the thing." Oh, that's the thing. Here we go. Here's the thing. This is the thing. Here it comes. Here's the thing. Anybody that warms you up for what they're about to say.
Well, yours is "hear me out."
That's true.
Yep.
And it's usually followed by nonsense, if you're being honest. Mostly, yeah, hear me out. It's just my way of being like, it's almost like, imagine this. Like my Twilight Zone version would be, hear me out, the Italian one. You know what I mean? So, Sarah, how many shows do we do on this legitpodcast.com? How many shows do we do a week? A week?
A week we are on 12 currently shows per week with 8 different hosts.
8 different hosts, 12 shows.
Mhm.
How many states are we in? Have we ever figured that out?
So we got at least 3, 4.
At least 5.
Shaw 5, JK 6. Yeah. 6 because then we have 9 hosts because Mike, 6 states, but Mike, Rick, and Sarah are in the same state. Right.
Yep. Lucky us for this state though, right? Huh, Rick?
Pew, 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 pew.
Let me ask you this. Rick, you're on the island, right?
I am on the island.
What's the name of that island?
Block Island.
Oh, Block Island. What do you guys do for Halloween?
Well, this year, the weekend before Halloween, we're going to be renting out an inn, and we're going to be doing investigations with you 4 guys and whoever else wants to come join us at some of our local, very haunted spots.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't know you had something that big planned. That was Sarah. What about you? Any islands?
Well, I'm going to be on Block Island for the Halloween event, the weekend before Halloween, and I think I heard there's a ghost tour too, right, Rick?
Tours?
Absolutely, we're going to do some
That's
ghost.
similar to what Rick's doing.
We're going to hang out, going to investigate stuff, going to have some ghost tours.
You guys should connect on that because that's really similar to what you guys are doing.
I'm pretty sure as I'm building the website that you are actually listed as the host of that weekend, Mike.
See what he thinks?
Can Kobe come?
Yeah, see what he thinks about all that nonsense?
Kobe.
He's back.
Kobe.
He had it up to here.
Hey, Mike.
Kobe.
Don't. No.
Kobe, good
Pull it
boy.
back. Resist the urge. Resist the urge. I'm not speaking with you. I'm speaking to the people on the screen.
Aww.
It's true, though.
Kobe, go upstairs and get some of that.
No, keep it yourself.
Kobe, go upstairs and get some of that.
Get a job. Get a job.
Good job.
You got 12 days left, buddy. Go get some.
Oh, you're 12 days left. You're not getting anything. He's a eunuch. He's a eunuch. You guys ever see History of the World Part 1? Mel Brooks, the eunuch scene. Sin, what would you like to say to wrap up?
Also, we've got coming up the Gettysburg Bash in July 26th, 27th, and 28th that I think all 4 of us plus others will be there. Won't Sarah MD be there? And who else?
And we don't know if Sarah's going to go. Rick is going to maybe. Rick, are you going to the Battlefield Bash?
I'm hoping so.
Okay. It's definitely Mike, myself, and Sin for sure. Hopefully Rick, hopefully Sarah, and whoever else can join us. Maybe JK, I think, was trying to think about it. So
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Does anybody else? What about the site, Sarah?
The animal go? Wait, Josh, are you going? Animal, are you going? Animal's going to be at the animal.
I don't think he was going like me, as in like wee.
Yeah. The site's going well. I'm working on a lot of things. So we're trying to get the site up and running for Block Island Halloween. We've been working hard on our site. So all of the shows are current and live streaming on legitpodcast.com. As well as we're building pages for each of our hosts as we go. And we're going to be selling tumblers. The links to Sin's books will be there. If you want to go there, read about Sin, then you can follow the links over to Amazon and purchase her books. Buy them and bring them with you to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash and have her sign them.
So we need to add to the website that we can offer intro music and videos for podcasts.
That is it, Chris.
Yeah. Because the one I did last night was well received.
The music?
Yeah. Because I can personalize
Yeah.
and just make a song out of whatever it is that you want me to try to make it out of, and it is what it is. I think they're pretty good. So, what's our email?
Our email is legitpodcast, DOTCOM @gmail.com. We have the banner up. We are at Legit Podcast, DOTCOM on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can send us messages there. You can call our Google phone number, which is 508 Legit Pod. If people have things they want to see on shows or ideas for podcasts, I mean, please let us know. Reach out. We like to hear from people.
We'll take it into account. That's the best you can tell people. I'm being dead serious.
We didn't guarantee anything. We talked about this with not guaranteeing things, but
we'll take it into account. We'll discuss it if it's discussable.
But if there's exactly.
Man, a phone number like that, Legit Pod, is it's
a great phone number.
It would get blown up. Back in the day, if this was like the 90s, you'd have like 400 people calling that number all the time, just leaving the dumbest, like jerky boys type message just to be funny. And nowadays,
the part is that I don't think you have it set up, so it just comes to me.
Huh?
It does what?
And you're surprised? Why?
Shush, Rick.
But you don't think, or what?
I'm pretty sure that even if you had the Google Voice number on your phone, that you wouldn't answer it.
Yeah,
so
no, I don't.
If you want to leave a message for Mike, you can give it to me, and I will make sure that he gets it.
Yeah, I don't. Come on, I don't know if I've checked some of my. I got too many emails. It's too much of it. I really do sound old. Like I was saying today, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I need to do. Like, do I got to go to like the Backstreet Boys NSYNC reunion concert, and you know what I mean, like just dance to the music of my childhood, like when I was happy,
your childhood
back in the boy band days.
I want to
I was like 40, 45 when the boy band days happened. That was more my childhood, my second childhood. Did I say that? My second childhood in my 40s.
And no one will go with me. However, I was surprised at the top of the show when you were talking about watching the weather, because I was pretty sure that you just read the Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, that's a good one. No one gets it, but that's pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
All right. So for Sin Schrader Hill, author for Block Island, Rick, for Sarah Power.
Normal.
It's me, Michael B. King, Mike Gill. This was King's Court, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Tomorrow night is Wednesday with Legit Paranormal Roulette at 7, Legit Paranormal News at 8. Check out the website, legitpodcast.com.